Hello lovers, how is the new year treating you? I hope you're doing well. I promised in my last video that I was going to be giving you back-to-back tips this year, on how to have a pleasurable sexual experience, of course. But before you have a pleasurable sexual experience, I think it is important that we talk about intimacy. So you're welcome to Eve's Desire by Tiwa Says, and I am your pleasure coach. So like I said, we're going to be talking about intimacy because intimacy is the driver. As much as I know that, it's possible for you to have sex without intimacy and it's possible for you to have intimacy without sex. But to have that kind of sex that I promised for this year, it is important to have intimacy. And I know that there are a lot of relationships that intimacy is lost these days. I get a lot of complaints every day, from couples who say, there's really no intimacy in their relationship. And what's intimacy basically? That feeling of closeness, that connection that you have with someone else, that you feel safe, in the person's presence, that emotional connection. That is what intimacy is. So like I said, I know that there are a lot of relationships these days that lack intimacy. So today, I'm going to be giving you tips on how to better your intimacy with your partner. Okay, so the first tip is communication. You know me, I'm a communication advocate. You have to communicate. It's communication that brings intimacy. If you are not communicating, there's no how intimacy will just fall on you, because you have to communicate with your partner. You have to bond with your partner. You have to tell your partner things. Your partner too has to tell you things. And I'm talking about open communication. Not that you talk about some things and you leave some things out. No, we talk about everything, including your sex life, including your desires, your wants, your kinks, your fears, your inadequacies. If you can't tell it to your partner, who do you want to tell it with? Because let's even assume that, okay, this person is not long-term, even if it's not marriage, but you are still in a relationship with the person. You have chosen that, okay, you want to be with this person for so number of years or even months. As long as you are in an intimate relationship with the person, then intimacy should be involved and you should not keep anything out. Communication is key. Please communicate with your partner this year. Another important tip is quality time. If you are not spending time, how do you want to achieve intimacy? I know that the country is upside down right now, and everybody is after one thing or the other, how to make money, how to get ahead and all that, and everybody's busy going to work, coming in the evening and everything. But in that busyness, you have to find time for yourselves. You have to find time. If not, everything is just going to fizzle out. It takes a spark to get two people together, that spark, that connection that brings you together. But you need that quality time, spending time together, communication and all that to keep it going. So if you are not spending time together, you are just going to keep losing each other, and that distance will just be building and building. So no matter how busy you are, you have to find time. And the only way you can do this is by setting out time. Because if you keep saying that, okay, we'll spend more time, okay, we'll find time. No, it's not going to work that way, except you make it concrete. You make concrete plans and decide that, okay, every weekend we are going out, and that is, our me time, time together, to spend together, to get to know each other better, even though you are already a couple, or you're already seeing each other. But then there are things that you may still want to discuss. There are things that, okay, you want to seek opinion about, or you just want to discuss about your life, or you just want to discuss about your fears or your hopes or your aspirations and all that. You just need to connect with that person on that level. So you have to create time. Decide. It's up to you and your partner. You come together and you talk about it. Maybe once a month, twice a month, you set time apart to go somewhere just to be together. And if you have kids, that might be the time to send the kids up to the granny, or if you have a nanny or something. But it is important that you create time for each other. Even for people who are not married, you need to spend time together. Okay, so the next tip is physical touch. I know in this part of the world, you people don't like to touch. You don't like to touch. You know, even on the road, you can't even kiss each other. Why? And you're a couple. Who is looking at you? The funniest is that most of the time people think that they are looking at us or somebody is looking at us. And sometimes they are not even looking at you. Everybody is about their own business. And even if they are looking at you, what's your own? What's your business with that? So this year, please, let's do more of physical touch. Let's touch your partner. It's not only when you want to have sex that you should be touching your partner. You know that, okay, oh yeah, let's do it. No, because it's when you are, in tune with your partner, when you do physical touch a lot, it even helps. It helps you to have better sex. So it's not like it's only when you want to have sex that you touch your partner. Touch your partner on the cheeks, hold your partner, hug your partner. Hugging is therapeutic. Did you know that? Hugging is therapeutic. Before you leave the house in the morning, hug your partner. When your partner comes back from a hard day at work, whether male or female, hug your partner. It may just be what your partner needs. Because they are coming in with, a lot of stress from the workplace, tiredness, and then one thing or the other that they are battling with another. And then they just come home, whether you are the man or the woman, and you just give your partner a hug. Just for a few minutes, just hold each other. It releases stress and it's very therapeutic. And if the person was coming with anger or stress or angry, or a messed up mindset or something, once that hug is done, it just eases everything, and then you are better able to communicate. Because I know a lot of people say that their partners are always edgy. When they come back from work, they are edgy, and then it also affects the relationship. But when you start that way, start with a hug your partner, or let your partner hug you. Anybody. It doesn't have to be the woman that will hug the man, and it doesn't have to be the man. Anybody can hug anybody. It is therapeutic for both of you. So please, let's make physical touch a thing. And if you go out, you are outside, you can hold hands, on the road. Even if you go to a party, or just touch your partner. Let your partner feel seen. Because if you are touching your partner will feel seen, and your partner will know that, okay, you are conscious of the fact that they are with you and they are your mind and all that. So please, let's make physical touch a thing this year. Okay, so the next one is emotional connection. That is also a strong one. Let your partner be emotionally connected to you, not just physically. And, when I say emotional connection, when you are emotionally connected to somebody, it brings in a level of vulnerability. If you cannot be vulnerable, then you cannot connect emotionally, because it means your guards are still up. But you need to bring your guards down if you want to connect with your partner emotionally. So it means that there's nothing you are hiding from your partner, and then you are yourself. Your partner can see you in your most vulnerable state, and you can tell your partner anything and everything, even if it doesn't look good to you, or even if you have fears or you have things that are bothering you, you are able to share with your partner. That kind of thing builds a bond between partners. It makes the relationship more solid, because your partner feels that, okay, I can come to you for anything, and I can seek solace in you for whatever I'm going through. And even if I'm telling I'm going through something, and even if you don't have the solution, but the fact that I'm able to tell you about it, and then you're able to encourage me, goes a long way, and it builds bonds. So please, let's not, especially the men, because there's a thing about men saying, okay, they are the stronger people and they don't break, they don't crack. A man must not cry, a man must not show emotion. Please, let's stop all that one this year. We are all humans, and it's tough for everybody out there. So if you have somebody that you can rely on, that's got your back, that you can talk to, that can make you feel better, please do so. Because stop holding everything in. That's why a lot of people break down these days or commit suicide, because you are taking everything in instead of sharing. So please, let's do more of that this year. Let's connect emotionally. Okay, so another thing is that let's be more trusting this year. Please, let's make trust a thing this year. I know that that's a big one, and a lot of people have trust issues, probably because of past incidences of betrayal and all that. And funny enough, it may not even be with your particular partner. It may be with your past partners who betrayed your trust and all that. And because of that, you are in a new relationship and you are finding it very difficult to trust. If you don't trust, there's no how you can build this intimacy I'm talking about. There's no how you can build emotional connections, because it means that you are not giving all of yourself and you're holding something back. And in doing that, you cannot move the relationship forward. It will just be on the surface. It won't be deep. And what is the point of having a relationship if it's not going to be deep? If you cannot trust your partner, then who do you want to trust? And if you don't trust somebody, you cannot rely on the person. You cannot be open with the person. So trust is a big thing. And I know that in some relationships, there are, people, like I said, who have betrayed the trust of their partners. Maybe your partner tells you something and then you use it against the person later in future. Please, if you are in that situation, please stop it. I've heard a lot about that. There are men, there are people, let me not say men or women. There are people who their partners have entrusted with some information, and they have in turn used that information against them, or they have in turn shared that information with other people that they were not supposed to do. And this is what affects trust going forward. Your partner is not able to trust you again because of that, and that affects the relationship greatly. If you cannot trust somebody, that relationship cannot grow. It cannot grow, because there can't be a bond, there can't be intimacy, because you feel like, I can't trust this person again. So you're holding back, you're keeping some things to yourself, and it should not be. So please, let's make trust a thing this year. If there have been incidences of betrayal of trust, please, let's mend fences, and let's do better. Let's do better. Let's promise our partners to do better. Not just promising, actually doing better. And it starts with the small things, so that going forward, your partners can trust you and they can be trusted, and then you can build that bond and that emotional connection and intimacy overall. Okay, so the last tip I'm going to be giving today is sexual intimacy. I've talked about emotional intimacy and sexual intimacy. Let's build that this year. And what do I mean sexual intimacy? Just basically having more sex, having more sex. Because I know there are some relationships too that, they can do 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, not having sex. Why? And in situations like that, sometimes it's not because they don't want to have the sex. It's just that there are some issues, and it's these other issues that affect this physical part, that affects the sex. Because if I'm not trusting you, I will not be able to fully give myself, or at all times. Or if I feel like there's no bond between us, or if there's no emotional connection, or no physical touch. All these things are all encompassing. They are related, they are connected. So if all these things are not in place, it is also going to affect the sexual intimacy. So please, let's work around all these other parts, so that we can have better sex and have more frequent sex. Because at the end of the day, the sex that you're having is you're not doing your partner a favor, you're actually doing yourself a favor too, because it has health benefits. So if you think you are denying your partner, you are also denying yourself, and it is not good for you. Okay, so I hope that you have written all of this down, because this is what is going to this is what is going to move our sex life going forward in 2025. So in my next video, I'm going to be giving you tips on how to have a more pleasurable experience, but we need to get this out of the way. So when intimacy is correct, is 100, then we can be talking about, okay, the different sex, different sex styles and all that. And I'll be bringing you that in my next video. So do well to subscribe. Click that subscribe button right before you, so you get notifications when I come out with such videos. And also like this video. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. And I'll be seeing you.